Most people believe that diseases arrive suddenly, as if one morning your blood pressure shoots up out of nowhere, or you go for a random checkup and discover high sugar levels, or you suddenly feel chest tightness, or you gain weight for no reason. But the truth is completely different. No disease appears overnight. Every illness, no matter how serious it eventually becomes, slowly develops in silence over months and sometimes even years. Inside the body, tiny changes are happening every day, and because they don't cause pain or loud symptoms in the beginning, we assume everything is fine. The biggest misunderstanding people have is that no symptoms means good health, while in reality, the body often stays quiet until the last stage, until it cannot compensate anymore. When you eat unhealthy foods every single day, your body accepts them, breaks them down, digests them, but on the inside, inflammation starts building, fat begins to accumulate, arteries slowly narrow, and blood becomes thicker. You don't feel it happening, but inside your heart, sticky plaque starts collecting. Your pancreas works harder to control sugar, your insulin becomes less effective, and your hormonal system slowly loses balance. This is why no one gets heart disease in a week or diabetes in a month. The process is long, silent, and gradual. When someone finally feels chest pain or breathlessness, they call it sudden. But nothing was sudden. The body was giving you signs for years. It just wasn't loud enough to scare you. Sitting for long hours adds to the problem. The human body was designed for movement, yet modern life forces us to sit for 8 to 10 hours daily. While sitting feels comfortable, inside the body, blood circulation becomes sluggish. The heart pumps with more effort, lungs take in less oxygen, muscles weaken, metabolism slows down, and fat starts accumulating around the belly. And the fat around the belly is not just extra weight. It's the most dangerous type of fat because it suffocates organs from all sides. This visceral fat increases inflammation, damages hormones, raises cholesterol, and becomes the foundation for heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and even some cancers. But since this fat slowly builds up, people ignore it until it becomes a problem too big to hide. Then comes sleep, one of the most underrated causes of silent disease development. When you don't sleep properly, you disrupt the entire internal clock of your body. Your cortisol level, the main stress hormone, shoots up. Your insulin sensitivity drops. Your hunger hormones go out of balance. Your body stops repairing itself. Your heart works harder, and your blood vessels tighten. All of these changes slowly set the stage for future diseases. People don't realize that 6 hours of broken sleep every night for a few months is enough to quietly push them toward diabetes, obesity, anxiety, or high blood pressure. Sleep deprivation does not immediately show symptoms, but deep inside, every major organ struggles to function. Mental stress is another powerful yet invisible trigger that slowly shapes disease in the body. When a person is constantly worried, overthinking, anxious, or emotionally overwhelmed, the body responds by releasing stress chemicals that increase heart rate, tighten arteries, disturb digestion, weaken immunity, and raise blood sugar. This is why many people with stressful lifestyles suffer from mysterious physical problems like chest tightness, headaches, fatigue, stomach issues, or hormonal imbalance. The body is not malfunctioning, it is reacting to long-term stress. And because stress doesn't have a physical shape or obvious symptoms at first, people assume they are okay while their health declines silently from the inside. Our daily diet habits also heavily contribute to this slow buildup of disease. Packaged foods, sugary snacks, bakery items, fried foods, fast foods, sodas, and artificial ingredients overload the body with toxins that it cannot easily process. These foods increase oxidative stress, meaning they damage cells little by little. Over time, this cellular damage leads to chronic illnesses like diabetes, cholesterol problems, fatty liver, thyroid imbalance, digestive issues, and premature aging. But people keep eating these foods for years without realizing the small damage they cause daily eventually turns into a big disease. Even something as simple as not drinking enough water silently harms the body. When you stay dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, your heart has to pump harder, your kidneys struggle to filter toxins, and your digestion slows down. The toxins that should leave your body start building up, creating fatigue, sluggishness, headaches, joint stiffness, and skin problems. These may seem like small issues, but they are actually early signs of the body asking for help before bigger diseases form. Breathing habits also matter more than people realize. Shallow breathing, fast breathing, mouth breathing, and breathing polluted air all reduce the amount of oxygen reaching cells. Low oxygen levels create stress inside organs, especially the heart and brain. The body compensates quietly at first, increasing the heart's workload and tightening blood vessels. Over years, this becomes a major contributor to chronic fatigue, poor focus, anxiety, and cardiovascular problems. But because lack of oxygen doesn't cause immediate pain, people ignore this as well. Another reason diseases build silently is that people confuse survival with health. Just because you're not in a hospital doesn't mean you're healthy. Real health means energy, mental clarity, strong immunity, good digestion, deep sleep, stable emotions, and the ability to perform daily activities without pain or fatigue. When any of these start weakening slowly, that's the beginning of disease development. But most people blame age, weather, or lifestyle and overlook the early signals. Your arteries, liver, heart, kidneys, brain, and gut all change slowly based on daily choices. But because the body is incredibly patient and adaptable, it tries to keep functioning without bothering you. It absorbs the damage quietly, adjusts quietly, and compensates quietly. The human body doesn't scream, it whispers. Fatigue, bloating, constipation, mood swings, headaches, hair fall, sleep problems, joint pain, skin dullness, these are whispers. If you listen early, you prevent disease. If you ignore them, one day the body stops whispering and starts collapsing. And that's when people say, "This happened all of a sudden," when in reality, nothing was sudden. Only the realization was sudden.
When we talk about disease prevention, one of the most powerful concepts to understand is how small daily habits silently create the foundation of either long-lasting health or future illness. Most people think diseases appear suddenly because of a single trigger, but the truth is that the body gives warning signs long before anything becomes serious. These warning signs are often ignored, not because people don't care, but because they believe the body can handle everything on its own. But just like a battery slowly draining, the body also loses strength when it is overloaded with stress, poor nutrition, lack of sleep, and inconsistent routines. The key is learning to listen to your body before it reaches a breaking point. You might think fatigue is normal, headaches are normal, digestion issues are normal, random pains are normal. But these small things are the early whispers of deeper problems forming inside. And when those whispers turn into loud symptoms, it's usually because the body has been asking for help for far too long. Disease prevention begins when you understand that the body is not your enemy. It's trying to protect you every single second. Every heartbeat, every breath, every drop of blood moving through your veins is proof that your body is fighting for you. But when you give your body poor fuel or expose it to continuous stress, it still tries to operate, just like a machine running without proper maintenance. Imagine driving a car for years without checking the tires, without changing the oil, without cleaning the engine. It won't break in a day, but slowly, silently, it starts to lose quality until one day it stops working. The human body works in the same way, except you don't get a replacement body. This is the only one you have for your entire life, so the way you maintain it now directly shapes the health you experience later. One of the biggest reasons diseases develop is because people underestimate the power of their everyday choices. A little extra sugar today seems harmless, but when it becomes a pattern, it raises blood sugar levels, affects insulin resistance, and slowly pushes the body toward diabetes. Sleeping late one night feels normal, but doing it regularly weakens the immune system, increases inflammation, and messes with your hormones. Skipping exercise for a day is no big deal, but when it becomes a lifestyle, blood circulation weakens, fat accumulates, joints stiffen, and the heart works harder than it should. Prevention is really about breaking these silent chains before they turn into lifelong struggles. Your body operates like a smart system. Each process depends on another process, and when one part becomes weak, the whole system has to work harder to compensate. If you don't drink enough water, your blood becomes thicker, circulation slows, and your organs receive less oxygen. If you are constantly stressed, your brain releases hormones that increase blood pressure, elevate blood sugar, and weaken immunity. If you are always sitting, your muscles start to shrink, your metabolism slows down, and fat begins to store more easily. These effects do not happen overnight, but they build up like layers over time until the body reaches a point where diseases have space to grow. Prevention means identifying these harmful patterns and replacing them with healthier ones that strengthen your internal system instead of damaging it. The amazing thing is that the human body is incredibly forgiving. Even if you have spent years not caring about your health, the moment you start making better choices, the body begins healing immediately. When you eat healthier foods, inflammation decreases and cell repair begins. When you exercise, your blood circulation improves and your organs receive more oxygen. When you sleep on time, your brain resets, your hormones balance, and your immune system becomes stronger. When you drink water regularly, toxins flush out and your metabolism wakes up. These small actions might seem simple, but they create powerful internal changes that protect you from disease without you even realizing it. Another important element of prevention is awareness. Many people stay busy with work, family, and responsibilities, but forget to scan their own body. They don't check their blood pressure, they never monitor their sugar levels, they don't pay attention to their digestion, they ignore chest tightness, they adjust to back pain, and they overlook mental and emotional stress. But diseases do not appear out of nowhere. They build quietly in the background until the damage becomes visible. Regular health awareness helps you catch problems early while they are still easy to fix. It's easier to reverse pre-diabetes than to manage full diabetes. It's easier to fix vitamin deficiencies than to deal with chronic fatigue. Prevention is not about fear, it's about taking charge before situations control you. Most people think they need huge lifestyle changes to stay healthy, but the truth is that prevention is built through simple, repeatable actions that the body loves. Breathing deeply to reduce stress, walking daily to improve circulation, stretching to reduce stiffness, eating fruits and vegetables for vitamins, sleeping well to strengthen immunity, drinking water to support the organs. None of these things are difficult, yet they have the strongest influence on long-term health. The real danger comes when people assume that healthy habits are optional while unhealthy habits feel natural or normal. But the body remembers everything. What you eat, how you sleep, how much you move, how you think. Your body reflects all of it. People also make the mistake of waiting for motivation before they start taking care of themselves. But prevention doesn't need motivation, it needs consistency. Even if you don't feel like exercising, a 10-minute walk still helps your heart. Even if you don't feel like eating healthy, choosing a better meal that day still reduces inflammation. Even if you are tired, going to bed 30 minutes earlier still gives your brain more time to recover. Prevention is not about perfection, it's about improvement. The body rewards every effort, no matter how small. Another part of preventing disease is emotional health. Stress, anxiety, and negative thoughts weaken the body more than we realize. When your mind is constantly under pressure, your body goes into survival mode. Your heart beats faster, your digestion slows down, your muscles tighten, and your immunity drops.
Over time, this emotional stress becomes physical illness. Learning to calm your mind, practicing gratitude, avoiding toxic environments, spending time with positive people, these habits protect your body from the inside. The mind and body are not separate. They communicate every second. When the mind is peaceful, the body functions better. Finally, real prevention comes from believing that you deserve good health. Many people live as if their health doesn't matter. They take care of everyone else but ignore themselves. They postpone healthy habits to tomorrow, next month, or next year, not realizing that time doesn't stop and the body doesn't pause. The moment you decide to value your health, the moment you decide that your life is worth the effort, that is the moment prevention truly begins. Because when you care about yourself, every healthy choice becomes easier, every habit becomes meaningful, and every effort becomes an investment in the future version of you.
When people think about preventing diseases, they often imagine complicated routines, expensive tests, strict diets. But the truth is that the biggest protective power lies inside the body itself. The immune system is like a personal army that never sleeps, constantly scanning, fighting, and repairing. Every second, it destroys harmful bacteria, neutralizes viruses, cleans damaged cells, and builds new defenses. Most people never realize how much the immune system saves them from danger every single day. You walk through crowded places, touch surfaces filled with germs, breathe air full of invisible particles, yet you stay healthy because this internal army works silently. The real problem begins when the immune system becomes weak, tired, or overwhelmed. That's when diseases take advantage, infections spread quickly, and recovery becomes slow. Strengthening the immune system is one of the most reliable ways to prevent illness before it even starts, and it doesn't require perfection, but rather consistent support through simple habits that nourish the body from the inside. The immune system is deeply connected to the choices you make daily. When you sleep well, your body produces stronger immune cells. When you exercise, your blood circulates more efficiently, carrying those cells to areas that need protection. When you eat nutrient-rich foods, your immune cells become stronger and faster. And when you hydrate properly, toxins flush out of your system, giving your immune soldiers more room to work. On the other hand, when you stay stressed, eat processed foods, skip movement, or ignore sleep, your immune system weakens and slows down. It becomes like an army running out of fuel. The sad part is that people don't feel the effects immediately, so they don't notice how much burden they place on their immune function. But the body keeps score, and eventually the immune system struggles to keep up. One of the most powerful ways to protect yourself from disease is by optimizing your gut health, because nearly 70% of the immune system is linked to the gut. The gut is not just a place where digestion happens, it's a complex ecosystem filled with trillions of bacteria that influence everything from immunity to mood to inflammation. When the gut bacteria are balanced, your immune system stays strong, inflammation stays low, and your body becomes more resilient. But when the gut is damaged by processed foods, too much sugar, irregular eating habits, or chronic stress, the harmful bacteria grow stronger and create inflammation throughout the body. This inflammation quietly weakens the immune system, making you more prone to infections, allergies, and chronic diseases. Supporting your gut with fiber-rich foods, fermented foods, proper hydration, and minimal processed sugar can dramatically increase your natural defense. Another major element of immunity is the lymphatic system, a silent network of vessels and nodes that remove waste, transport immune cells, and filter harmful substances. Unlike the heart, the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. It depends on movement to function properly. When you sit too long, the lymphatic flow slows down, waste builds up,
and the immune system becomes less efficient. But when you walk, stretch, breathe deeply, or move your body, the lymphatic fluid flows more freely, carrying immune cells where they are needed most. Even small movements throughout the day, lifting your arms, rotating your neck, stretching your legs, stimulate lymph flow and strengthen your immunity. People underestimate how powerful light movement can be. You don't always need intense workouts. Sometimes gentle mobility does more for your immunity than a hard training session. Stress is one of the most damaging enemies of the immune system. When the mind is under pressure, the body releases cortisol, a hormone that can suppress immune function if it stays high for too long. Short-term stress is normal, but constant stress, overthinking, worrying, rushing, emotional tension weakens your defenses, making you more susceptible to infections, inflammation, and fatigue. Most people don't realize that mental stress can cause physical illness because the body cannot separate mental pressure from physical danger. The immune system reacts to both in the same way. Learning to calm the mind, practicing slow breathing, taking breaks, expressing emotions, and creating peaceful routines isn't just for mental health, it directly strengthens your immune protection. Sunlight also plays a powerful role in immunity. Vitamin D is one of the most important nutrients for immune function, yet millions of people are deficient because they don't spend enough time outdoors. Vitamin D helps immune cells identify and destroy harmful pathogens quickly. When your body lacks it, you become more vulnerable to infections, autoimmune issues, low energy, and mood problems. Even 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight a day can significantly boost your immune system. This is why people often get sick more frequently during winter, because they don't get enough sunlight to maintain strong immunity. Adding simple habits like morning walks, sitting near sunlight, or opening curtains can naturally increase your vitamin D levels without extra effort. Another crucial factor is hydration. Water is the transport system for your immune cells. It carries nutrients, removes toxins, supports lymphatic flow, and helps maintain optimal body temperature. When you are dehydrated, your immune system slows down, your organs work harder, and your body becomes less capable of fighting infections. Many people mistake thirst for hunger or ignore it completely, but even mild dehydration weakens immune performance. Drinking water consistently throughout the day, not just when you're thirsty, ensures your immune system stays alert, active, and efficient. Sleep is often called the body's natural pharmacy because during deep sleep, the body produces cytokines and immune proteins that fight inflammation and infection. When you sleep less, these protective proteins decrease, making it harder to fight off viruses or recover from illness. Modern lifestyles push people into constant stimulation, late-night scrolling, irregular routines, caffeine reliance, but the body pays the price through weakened immunity. One good night of sleep can reset your immune power in ways no supplement can. Establishing a consistent sleep schedule, reducing screen time before bed, and keeping your room dark and quiet can transform your immune performance effortlessly. Nutrition plays a central role in immune strength. Foods rich in vitamin C, E, A, zinc, magnesium, antioxidants, and natural plant compounds boost the body's defense line. Fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs, and whole grains provide the raw materials your immune system needs to create strong defense cells. On the other hand, processed foods, fried foods, sugary snacks, and artificial additives create inflammation and weaken the immune response. The body cannot build strong immunity from weak fuel. Choosing whole, colorful foods ensures your immune army stays strong and ready. Another powerful yet overlooked part of disease prevention is maintaining healthy relationships. Positive social connections strengthen the immune system, reduce stress, improve mood, and enhance overall energy.
On the other hand, toxic or emotionally draining relationships weaken immunity, elevate stress hormones, and increase the risk of illness. Human connection isn't just emotional, it's biological. The nervous system responds to the environment, and the immune system mirrors that response. Surrounding yourself with supportive, uplifting, or motivating people naturally strengthens your internal health. Breathing also plays an important role. Deep, slow breathing increases oxygen levels, reduces stress, opens the lungs, and improves circulation. Shallow chest breathing, which many people do subconsciously, keeps the body in a stressed state, weakens immunity, and tightens muscles. Just taking slow, controlled breaths can shift the body from stress mode into healing mode. The immune system works better when the body is relaxed, oxygenated, and mentally calm. The immune system is also influenced by personal hygiene. Washing hands, maintaining clean surroundings, protecting yourself from pollution, and avoiding contaminated food reduces the workload on the immune system. When the immune system faces fewer external threats, it can focus on deep internal repair. Small hygienic habits create big long-term protection. Finally, the immune system thrives in a balanced, harmonious lifestyle. Not extreme dieting, not extreme workouts, not extreme routines, just simple, steady habits that allow the body to stay energized and adaptive. Your body is constantly trying to protect you, and when you support it with good choices, it responds with strength, clarity, and resilience. A strong immune system doesn't just prevent disease, it gives you the freedom to live fully, work actively, and enjoy life without being held back by constant fatigue or illness. Every healthy choice you make becomes a
Layer of protection, building a future in which your body remains strong, capable, and vibrant.
When it comes to preventing diseases, one of the most underestimated truths is that the body constantly communicates with us long before any illness fully develops. Most people don't get sick suddenly. They get sick gradually, through tiny signals the body sends every day. Signals that often get ignored because life gets busy. The human body is incredibly intelligent. It warns you through fatigue, through unusual pains, through digestive discomfort, through changes in mood, through shifts in appetite, through skin reactions, through unusual headaches, through sleep disturbances. These signals are not random. They are the body's way of saying something needs attention. But we become so used to pushing through stress, forcing productivity, and ignoring discomfort that eventually these small signals turn into bigger problems. Disease prevention is deeply connected to understanding these early signs. When you learn how to listen to your body, you catch issues early. And when you catch them early, you prevent them from becoming long-term struggles. The first way the body communicates imbalance is through energy levels. People often think feeling tired all the time is normal, but persistent fatigue is one of the biggest indicators that something inside the body needs support. It might be nutritional deficiencies, poor sleep quality, stress overload, dehydration, or a weakened immune response. Instead of treating fatigue with caffeine or sugar, the key is slowing down and observing what the body is asking for. Sometimes your body wants rest. Sometimes it needs better nutrition. Sometimes it needs a break from mental pressure. Sometimes it needs more movement. But if you ignore this signal, the body compensates for a while and then eventually collapses into illness. Another subtle sign is digestive changes. The gut is extremely sensitive to stress, poor diet, and hormonal changes. If you experience bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, heartburn, or stomach cramps, the body is signaling that digestion is struggling. Most people brush these off because they appear small, but the gut is directly linked to immunity, inflammation, and overall health. When digestion becomes irregular, nutrients don't absorb properly, inflammation rises, toxins accumulate, and the immune system weakens. Your gut literally sends alarms through discomfort, and every alarm deserves attention. When you identify the foods or habits causing stress and fix them early, you prevent many long-term diseases related to the stomach, metabolism, and immune health. Pain is another signal people ignore far too often. Whether it's joint stiffness, back pain, frequent headaches, or muscle soreness, pain is rarely random. The body uses pain as a messenger. It might be telling you that you're dehydrated, that your posture is harming your spine, that your muscles are weak, or that inflammation is rising. When pain is ignored, it becomes chronic, and chronic pain slowly reshapes your daily routine, your mobility, and even your emotional health. Learning to respond early, before the body is forced into a long-term condition, is one of the strongest forms of prevention. Sleep disturbances are another subtle warning sign. If you are struggling to fall asleep, waking up tired or waking up multiple times at night, your body is trying to show you that something is disrupting your internal balance. This might be stress, hormone imbalance, poor diet late at night, excessive screen time, or simply an irregular routine. Sleep is when the body performs its most important repair work. When sleep becomes compromised, the immune system weakens, hormone production becomes irregular, and inflammation increases. Instead of ignoring poor sleep or trying to push through with stimulants, the body needs a calm routine, less stimulation, and a healthier schedule to restore itself. Skin is another powerful communication channel. Breakouts, dryness, itching, rashes, discoloration, or sudden sensitivity are signs that something inside is off. The skin often mirrors gut health, hormonal balance, hydration levels, and immune strength. Instead of covering skin issues with products, true prevention comes from recognizing why the skin is reacting. The body uses the skin to detox when the internal system becomes overwhelmed, and that is a message worth listening to. Mood changes and emotional disturbances are also early indicators of internal imbalance. Irritability, sudden sadness, anxiety, lack of motivation, and mental fog are not just emotional states, they are physical signals too. The brain and gut communicate constantly. When the gut is unhealthy, it affects mood. When sleep is poor, it affects focus. When hormones shift, emotions shift too. Instead of thinking mood swings are just a bad day, it helps to pause and ask, what is my body struggling with right now? Emotional well-being is deeply connected to physical health. Preventing disease requires addressing both, because the body reflects the mind, and the mind reflects the body. Another signal often ignored is thirst or dehydration symptoms like dry mouth, headaches, dizziness, or low energy. Most people mistake thirst for hunger or simply don't drink enough water throughout the day. Water is essential for blood flow, temperature regulation, digestion, joint lubrication, and immune function. When the body becomes dehydrated, toxins accumulate, digestion slows, and the immune response becomes sluggish. A dehydrated body cannot protect itself effectively. Listening to the body's request for hydration is one of the simplest forms of prevention. Sometimes, the body sends signals through breathing patterns. Feeling easily out of breath, chest tightness, or shallow breathing are signs that the lungs or cardiovascular system needs support. These may indicate stress, anxiety, lack of movement, or early cardiovascular strain. Deep breathing practices, regular walking, and mindful movement can dramatically improve breathing and circulation before any serious condition develops. Your cravings are also signals. When you crave sugar, it might mean your body is lacking energy or sleep. When you crave salty foods, it may indicate dehydration or mineral imbalance. Cravings are not just random desires, they are biological messages. The body always tries to achieve balance, and cravings are one of the ways it communicates shortages or excesses. Another overlooked sign is frequent colds or infections. If you find yourself getting sick often, it means your immune system is struggling to keep up. This might be due to lack of sleep, poor diet, stress, or vitamin deficiencies. When infections become frequent, the body is clearly saying that it needs support, not temporary fixes. Strengthening the immune system early prevents long-term issues. Weight fluctuations, whether sudden gain or loss, can also be early signs of imbalance. The body uses weight changes to show inflammation, hormonal changes, water retention, or metabolic issues. Instead of focusing on the number on the scale, the key is understanding why the body is shifting. Even your breathing when sleeping, snoring, waking up choking, or sleeping with a dry mouth are signs of deeper issues like poor airway function, dehydration, or stress. The body sends signals constantly. The challenge is paying attention. The body gives clues through hair as well. Hair loss, thinning, or dryness can indicate nutritional deficiencies, stress, or hormonal imbalance. The body always tries to speak through the easiest channels, like skin, hair, nails, digestive changes, and mood swings. Preventing disease begins when you stop treating these signals as nuisances and start seeing them as early warnings. Every small symptom is an opportunity to adjust your habits, improve your routines, nourish your body, and protect your long-term health. When you respond early, you save yourself from years of treatment later. The body speaks in whispers before it speaks in pain, and when you learn to listen to the whispers, you rarely have to face the pain.
One of the most important truths about staying healthy and preventing diseases is understanding that long-term consistency beats short-term effort every single time. Most people start with strong motivation, trying to fix everything in 1 week, but then they stop when life gets busy, when stress increases, or when motivation fades. But the body doesn't respond to temporary intensity. It responds to daily patterns, to repeated behaviors, to small actions done over and over again. Prevention is built slowly, quietly, through habits that become part of your lifestyle rather than something you only do when you feel inspired. The real protection comes when healthy choices become automatic, something you don't force, something you don't negotiate with yourself about. It becomes part of who you are. That is when the body becomes strong, stable, and resistant to disease. People often underestimate the power of small daily habits because they look too simple. A walk every day seems like nothing. Drinking water regularly seems basic. Sleeping on time feels ordinary. Eating one healthy meal doesn't feel like a big achievement. Practicing deep breathing seems too easy. But inside the body, these simple habits transform major systems. The heart becomes stronger, blood flow improves, the immune system gets more active, digestion becomes smoother, hormones become balanced, and inflammation decreases. You don't see these changes immediately, but the body feels every small action. And just like small negative habits cause diseases slowly, small positive habits create protection quietly. The key is showing up daily, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Consistency is not about forcing yourself or trying to be perfect. It's about choosing better options more often than not. It's about understanding that your future health depends on what you do today, not on occasional big efforts. When people aim for perfection, they often fail because life is unpredictable. Something always comes up: work pressure, family problems, emotional ups and downs, lack of time. But when you aim for consistency instead of perfection, you keep moving forward even with small steps. If you miss a workout, you walk instead. If you eat something unhealthy, you balance it with a healthier meal later. If you sleep late one night, you prioritize rest the next day. The body doesn't demand perfection, it appreciates stability. Another important part of long-term health is building routines that support your lifestyle instead of fighting against it. People with strong health are not necessarily the ones who work the hardest. They are the ones who have created systems that support healthy living naturally. For example, preparing meals in advance, setting a fixed bedtime, keeping water close throughout the day, scheduling movement breaks, or keeping unhealthy snacks out of the house. When your environment supports your goals, you stay consistent without requiring extra effort. The body loves rhythm. When you eat around the same times, your digestion improves. When you sleep at similar hours, your hormones stabilize. When you move daily, your muscles stay active. When you manage stress consistently, your immune system stays strong. Rhythm creates internal harmony, and harmony protects you from disease.
The opposite is also true. Inconsistency confuses the body. Eating at random times, sleeping irregularly, skipping meals, staying stressed for long periods, these disrupt the body's natural rhythm and increase the risk of illness. Creating stable routines is one of the most powerful forms of prevention. A huge part of staying consistent is mindset. Many people think health is something they can focus on later, after finishing a big project, after solving a financial problem, after holidays, after stress reduces. But later never truly arrives. There will always be work, challenges, responsibilities, and pressure. The truth is that taking care of your health is what helps you handle life better. When your body feels strong, your mind becomes clearer. When your mind is calm, your decisions improve. When your energy is steady, your productivity rises. Health isn't something separate from life, it is the foundation that supports everything else. And when you understand this, consistency becomes easier because you realize every healthy action makes your life smoother, not harder. Another reason people struggle to stay consistent is that they start too big. They try to go from 0 to 100 instantly, starting a strict diet, intense workouts, complicated routines. But drastic changes shock the body and overwhelm the mind. You can't sustain something that doesn't feel natural. Sustainable change begins with small steps. Adding a 5-minute walk, drinking an extra glass of water, sleeping 20 minutes earlier, choosing fruits instead of sugary snacks once a day. These tiny changes sound insignificant, but when repeated daily, they create massive results. The secret is starting small and staying steady until the habit becomes automatic. Motivation is temporary, but discipline grows with practice. In the beginning, discipline feels difficult, but as your routine becomes familiar, discipline becomes easier. And eventually, you don't rely on motivation anymore, you simply follow your habits because they feel right, because the body feels better, because you feel more alive. When healthy habits start giving you energy, clarity, confidence, and strength, consistency becomes natural. Another factor in long-term health is removing unnecessary obstacles. Instead of trying to fight temptations, reduce them. Instead of trying to remember everything, set reminders. Instead of relying on willpower, design your surroundings in a way that supports your goals. Keep fruits washed and ready. Keep water next to you. Place your workout clothes where you can see them. Prepare simple meals instead of complicated ones. When healthy choices are convenient, consistency becomes effortless. Long-term disease prevention is also about checking in with yourself regularly, noticing when your body feels off, when stress increases, when your energy feels low, when your sleep changes. These small self-check-ins help you adjust before things get worse. Consistency includes being honest with yourself about what you feel, what you eat, how you move, and how you think. When you stay aware, you stay in charge. Small healthy habits also create a compounding effect. Just like saving a little money every day eventually turns into big savings, healthy habits accumulate inside your body. Every good night's sleep strengthens your immune memory. Every nutritious meal reduces inflammation. Every workout improves circulation. Every glass of water helps detoxification. Every calm breath lowers stress hormones. Over months and years, these small actions build a strong, resilient body that resists disease naturally. You don't have to fight illness if your habits prevent it from forming. The body loves consistency because it thrives in stability. A stable routine gives the body predictability, and predictability allows it to store energy for healing, repair, protection, and growth. When you take care of your body daily, even with small actions, your body takes care of you in return. It protects you, supports you, and gives you the ability to live a long, strong, active life.